in a family of elite combat athletes and top-tier performers. The final boss has always stood out, even when he was just a blue chipper. But there wouldn't be a final boss. There wouldn't even be a bloodline if it wasn't for The Rock's grandfather, the High Chief Peter Maivia. You can think of him as the first boss. Predecessor to the tribal chief.
He is one of, if not the foundation for our family. The Anawa'i Fatu Maivia wrestling dynasty. I don't think there's anybody more responsible for what's going on now than the High Chief himself.
Peter Maivia isn't simply one of the two principals behind the sacred blood bond. He's also an incredibly decorated professional wrestler who traveled the world and won titles everywhere he went. New Zealand, Japan, Europe, and here in the United States, where he enjoyed especially successful runs in Hawaii and California. Maivia would eventually find his way to WWE, engaging in legendary battles with the likes of superstar Billy Graham. His larger-than-life personality would win the WWE Universe over in short order, as it had throughout his entire career. In the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia was a potent blend of brawn and grappling technique, often muscling his opponents down to the mat through a variety of joint locks and then switching to more painful holds once grounded. His sleeper hold and stump puller were both feared and renowned, and make no mistake about it, Maivia knew there was always more than one path to the ultimate victory. Out of the ring, High Chief Peter Maivia also ran one of the most successful wrestling promotions on the planet, Polynesian Pro Wrestling, based out of Hawaii, showing his mastery of the business in every aspect. His induction into WWE's Hall of Fame class of 2008 was supremely deserved, forever enshrining Peter Maivia as the legend he always was. And now, we present to you the opportunity to walk in the boots of the legendary High Chief Peter Maivia, facing off against one of the most legendary WWE rivals, George the Animal Steele. You will settle this score once and forever and showcase the overwhelming strength of Peter Maivia, which has ever since remained as a hallmark for every single solitary member of this bloodline. Steele is no easy battle, though. He thrives in the chaos, one of pro wrestling's true madmen. He'll even try to eat part of the ring if he thinks it'll help him break you down. So do your best and honor High Chief Peter Maivia properly with a resounding victory.
Uh-oh, somebody call the local zoo.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is a steel cage match. Introducing first, from Detroit, Michigan, weighing in at 275 pounds, George the Animal Steele.
I'm not even sure the cage can contain this man.
And strolling down the aisle, the opponent of George Steele, Peter Maivia.
Always a chaotic matchup.
His opponent from the Isle of Samoa, weighing in at 275 pounds,
Steele had better keep an eye on Maivia because Maivia is a true brawler.
Few men can handle the chaos of the animal inside a steel cage, but I believe the High Chief is ready.
Maivia carrying such pride into the ring.
Very stark contrast to Steele.
We'll see which prevails tonight.
High Chief Peter Maivia taking on George the Animal Steele in a steel cage match. Quite a heated history between these two guys.
Yeah, Michael, and I think it's because Maivia is one of the few superstars brave enough to take on the animal. Most of their contests have ended in countouts or disqualifications. Thanks to the cage, we'll get a decisive victory in this one.
Well, that really depends on if a cage can even contain them. Gentlemen, we've touched on the differences between Maivia and Steele as competitors. One man based on order, the other on chaos, but it's reflected in their looks, too.
Indeed, Michael. Just look at the sculpted physique of the High Chief. And the tribal tattoos on his body are extremely intricate and definitely eye-catching.
And Steele is, well, he's an ugly creature. Enough hair on his upper torso to classify as fur. Folds in his bald head. He's like a modern-day Neanderthal.
Peter Maivia is looking unstoppable now.
Yeah, Maivia has really figured the animal out here.
Pulled back into the hip toss.
The High Chief Peter Maivia really making a name for himself at WWE, but he's had plenty of experience on the way up.
Plenty of championships on the West Coast, but he's made the biggest splash in Hawaii, where he earned multiple tag team titles.
Oh yeah, Maivia is a huge celebrity on the islands. In fact, I've heard some consider him the personification of Maui. And Steele isn't looking helpless anymore.
Now able to stop things, but will he gain command?
Two very opposing styles in every sense of the word, Corey. High Chief Maivia is a much more physically gifted and talented athlete in the ring than Steele. What's it going to take for the animal to get the upper hand here?
Well, he's got to be even more chaotic than ever inside this cage. Nothing about Steele makes sense to someone as traditional as Maivia. There's never any telling what the animal's going to do in a match, and he needs to keep it that way.
Body drop. When a man like Peter Maivia signs up for a match with the animal, he doesn't know what to expect, just to expect anything in the world. Peter Maivia.
Maivia knows full well that he's in for some unusual treatment tonight. In fact, Steele often has trouble finding opponents due to his erratic nature.
But when it comes to competition, the High Chief wants to prove he's worthy of that name. Peter Maivia will take on any competitor, no matter the difficulty.
Lift it up. What's next?
Planted face first.
He's calling for the cage door here.
Boom, running STO plants him.
Nicely done.
George the Animal Steele is not a wrestler by any stretch of the imagination, guys. He's a true brawler.
And he might be the best brawler in WWE, Michael. There is no shortage of fight in the animal.
But you know who might be a better brawler, guys? The High Chief Peter Maivia. When you consider that Maivia is also an excellent high flyer and a great technician, well, you can see why the High Chief is the favorite in this match, even with the steel cage stipulation.
Determined to make it up the cage, balance and a tight grip are key.
Oh, look at this. Headbutt!
The animal has to be elated to be in this. Back and forth we go. Ooh.
Back and forth, neither one giving up any ground. Nothing pretty here, just good old-fashioned fisticuffs. Feels like a hockey fight's just broken out.
What impressive determination from both competitors, keeping at each other no matter what.
Two fighters putting their haymakers on autopilot right now.
Gut punch. That's starting to climb up the steel cage.
Soaring. Oh, gosh. That looked like a bad landing.
He's trying to climb up the steel cage.
Making a move, but is it the right moment? Oh!
Peter Maivia very tough, but he also has movie star good looks. Quite the combo.
And it served him well, Michael. In fact, the High Chief has major acting and stunt work credits to his name. And who knows? Maybe we'll see the Maivia name on Hollywood billboards again sometime.
Well, before any of that happens, the High Chief needs to survive this war against the animal. Oh, a knee! Lights out.
Game placed in the corner here.
Clothesline in the corner!
Momentum is all with Maivia now.
And you can see Steele is struggling to weather the storm of the High Chief.
Going right after the arm and taking down their opponent effectively. Punishing.
And George Steele has the High Chief in dire straits after that move.
Some folks call Peter Maivia the Flying Hawaiian, and the reasons are obvious for that moniker. But guys, how has he earned the other nickname of the High Chief?
Well, Cole, Peter Maivia is very close to the Anawahi family. In fact, Peter's considered a blood brother to the patriarch of that clan.
When you add on the fact that Maivia was born and raised in Samoa, you can see the great pride he has for that land and its people in the tribal ink that covers his body.
Wicked clothesline.
Peter Maivia has something brewing. Backbreaker.
That'll realign your vertebrae. And George is laid out. Maivia just dominated the animal with that one.
Heel hook. Look at this. Oh, that. So painful.
It's hard to watch, too.
George the Animal Steele might be a bit of an underdog here. In fact, he lost a match. Nice takedown. Stacked them up.
And now a bring of their own.
No idea what he's planning here.
I don't think it's anything good, Cole. He's calling for it. Let him out of here.
As the arm wringer, their opponent but gets countered with a right hand.
What a counter by Peter Maivia. Snapmare. Fist.
Maivia is reaching that other level.
Setting up again.
That'll do some serious damage.
Is it enough? Is it enough for Peter Maivia?
Measuring it up one more time.
Ooh, man, backbreaker.
Does it again, and there's no way to come back from that.
Two. Only two?
Unbelievable presence of mind.
I thought he was unconscious.
I think there is still some shock in the air over the fact that didn't produce a pinfall. Momentum is all with Maivia now.
Can Steele recover from this adversity?
Why? Why?
Ooh, and he stops that offense.
Going right after the arm and taking down their opponent effectively. Punishing.
Into the pen. George is trying to seal this one up. And a kick out at only one.
Still going to take a massive effort to keep him down. The climb to the top now is going to take every ounce of energy. Pulls the leg. Boom! Oh, my goodness.
Powerbomb. Falls back to the mat.
Didn't have anywhere to escape to.
Truly an uphill climb in every sense. Getting back up gets harder each time.
Going to try and scale the Steele. And the High Chief defeats the animal.
Here is your winner, High Chief Peter Maivia!
Anytime these two have faced off, it's been eye for an eye. But the steel cage has finally delivered a decisive victory for the High...